Greetings everyone. Today I Avinash Divedi, final year student at Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Civil Department, University of Lucknow, is going to present a seminar on the topic Submerged Floating Tunnel. Before we go on to the topic, we should know the concept of submerged floating tunnel is over a century old. We we use we use bridges, boats, tunnels to cross water bodies. These are the common ways to do it. Submerged floating tunnel is a new concept that requires a that is a tube-like structure made up of steel and concrete utilizing the law of buoyancy. It is supported by columns or held in place by tethers attached to the sea floors or by the pontoons floating on the surface. The structural components of SFT are tube anchoring and shore connections. The tube is used to accommodate the traffic lanes and the equipment. The external shape can be elliptical, polygonal, or circular. It can be constructed by steel or concrete. The main issue with these are corrosion. Due to the saline nature of seawater, the corrosion can happen at a very fast rate. So therefore, a great care should be taken for the maintenance of tubes. Anchorings can be done by four ways. SFT with pontoons, SFT supported on columns, SFT with tethers to the bottom, or SFT unanchored. As we can see in the image, pontoons are floating structures which help the tube to remain submerged inside the water. This can also be done by erecting columns at the bed of the water body and supporting the tube on it. Tethers, the wire-like structures that are uh, use uh, used to hold the tube, can also be used. For small distance between two shores, a tube can be used without any support. Connections are to be made at both the shores to uh, to prevent from any movements, to restrain it from any movement due to the water current. Due to the water current, the landslide inside the water can cause serious damage to the tube. Therefore, the connections are to be made with additional care, especially in seismic areas where the risk of submarine landslides are more. The competitive features of SFT are they are invisible as they are submerged inside the water body, so they cannot be seen. Length is only from shore to shore, very low gradient, access to underground service parking at the ends, may surface just above the shoreline, constructed away from densely populated area, easy removal at the end of life. These are explained here as crossing waterway, whether being from mainland to island, uh, in the sea, or maybe more important crossing an inland lake. Perhaps that one we are at now will in many cases meet protest both from tourist interest also from the public in general, which means that because of the invisible nature of these tunnels, unlike the bridges which are erected always above the water body and can be seen uh, to the tourists, therefore they do not these submerged floating tunnels do not hinder the beauty of the natural view of any lake or river. The length is only from shore to shore. It is not constructed like bridges which are started very earlier from the shore and are and they end at after reaching to the other shore. These are constructed only between shore to shore and can go underground, therefore not hindering any beauty of the lake or rivers. They may surface just above the shoreline. If they are floating, they are positioned that way that only the top part of the tube is visible to the surface. The because of the nature they can because of the dissembling nature of the submerged floating tunnel, they can be manufactured at a manufacturing plant far away from the populated area and then can be assembled on the site of construction. This will decrease lot of traffic and the dust through it which affects the local public. Therefore, it is a very advantageous point that these can be constructed far away from the population. Easy removal at the end of the life. because they are being assembled at the site, they can also be deassembled on the site when some part fails or has expired its lifespan, and can easily be replaced by the another part which can be transported to the site. We have two case studies with us. The first one is the transatlantic tunnel. You should know that there are no actual submerged floating tunnel present, because this is a theoretical uh, concept. Therefore, the and therefore the transatlantic tunnel is only a concept. It is a theoretical submerged floating tunnel which would connect London and New York. That is, it would span between Atlantic Ocean from North America to Europe. The transatlantic tunnel would be built of 54,000 prefabricated sections which are to be connected, and they are to be watertight and vacuum tight. Each section is to be connected with tethers. The theoretical goals that can be achieved by the transatlantic tunnel is it aims to reduce the time drastically between the two continents. High-speed train theoretically could run from New York to London in 54 minutes. The train would have to go at the speed of 8,000 km per hour through 5,000 kilometer long tunnel that itself is flowing on the Atlantic Ocean, and this can only be achieved if there is a perfect vacuum inside the tunnel. The three proposed railway tracks are proposed. They are to be bilateral, and one reserved for any accidents or service and repairs. The components of transatlantic tunnel are gasket shell, sea anchors, utility conduits and service port, vacuum pump, maglev trains, and guideways. Challenges that are to be faced due to the uh, cost, due to the immense large nature of this project, very large nature to be project, and it can also be considered as a superstructure. It can cost nearly as 1.2 thousand million dollars. Fire is also a challenge that is to be faced, because during a case of fire inside the tunnel, it would be very difficult to rescue these people because of the smoke and fire inside. The nature of the tube being vacuumed, so it is very difficult for them to be rescued. Collision, if collision happens inside the tube, then again the rescue of the people is very different. There would be no stoppage between the two destinations because of the high speed nature of the train. The another case study we have is from Norway. Recently, the Norwegian government has proposed to construct a submerged floating tunnel. The Norwegian Public Roads Administration had proposed the world's first underwater floating tunnel, which is to be submerged in the Norwegian Sea. It is to be predicted of cost to 25 billion, around 19 million euros, to be built. The estimation is being done. The tunnel is the part of series of proposed solution for the Route E39 coastal highway devised by the NPRA, that is the Norwegian Public Roads Administration. The proposed details are the tunnel would consist of two 4,000 foot long curved concrete tubes submerged 66 feet below the surface of the Norwegian Sea. Underwater tunnel could be put in place across the yards from Kristiansand of south of Norway to Trondheim in the north. The submerged tubes would be steadied by being attached to the pontoons on the surface. Conclusion: the submerged floating tunnel will set up a new trend in the transportation engineering, which will show the advances in the technology, and it will reduce the time required for traveling. Because these tunnels are to be constructed with vacuum in nature, so the maglev trains can achieve almost 90% of their designed speed. The transportation would be more effective by hiding the traffic underwater, and the beauty of landscape is maintained, and the valuable land for the other purpose. Benefits can be obtained with respect to less energy consumption, air pollution, and reduced noise emission. These are the references I used in making this seminar. Thank you.